When people hear a headline like 2027 crisis begins in the north as Fulani plans take over from Shettima, Tinubu yet to decide on our mate, the first reaction is fear, confusion, and plenty of questions. And honestly, that reaction is understandable because politics in Nigeria has never been simple, and the road to 2027 is already looking very hot. Let's slow things down and break this story properly so everyone understands what is really going on, what is political noise, and why the North has suddenly become the center of intense power struggle. Nigeria is barely settling into the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, yet discussions about 2027 have already taken over political spaces, from Abuja to Kaduna, from Kano to social media. This is not unusual in Nigerian politics. The moment a government starts, the next election begins quietly behind closed doors. But this time, the tension feels different. In the north especially, there is growing unease. Power blocks are shifting, old alliances are shaking, and new interests are emerging. The biggest issue raising dust right now is the future of the vice presidency and whether Kashim Shettima will remain Tinubu's running mate in 2027. Officially, nothing has been decided. Tinubu himself has not made any public statement confirming or rejecting Shettima for his second-term ticket. But in Nigerian politics, silence is never empty. It is strategic. Behind the scenes, discussions are ongoing. In the north, there are different power centers, traditional political elites, religious leaders, ethnic blocs, governors, former office holders, and rising political movements. These groups do not always agree, but what unites them is influence. And right now, many of these groups are asking one question: who controls the north in 2027? This is where the Fulani takeover narrative enters the conversation. First, let's be very clear. There is no official declaration, no public document, and no confirmed plan announcing any ethnic takeover of political power. What we are seeing is political positioning mixed with ethnic fear, social media exaggeration, and long-standing mistrust between communities. However, perceptions matter in politics. Some northern political actors believe that certain Fulani-dominated elite groups are pushing for stronger control of national power beyond what already exists. Others argue that this is simply power rotation within the north, not an ethnic agenda. But once ethnicity enters political debate in Nigeria, emotions rise fast. Shettima himself comes from Borno State, and his political base is not rooted purely in ethnic identity but in party loyalty and regional strategy. Yet, in northern politics, perception often matters more than fact. There are whispers that some northern elites feel that the vice presidency slot should shift, either to another part of the north or even be renegotiated entirely to balance emerging political interests. Others feel Shettima should stay to maintain continuity and stability, especially given the current security and economic challenges. This disagreement is what some people are now describing as a crisis. Is it a full-blown crisis yet? No. Is it political tension? Absolutely. Another angle to this story is President Tinubu's political calculations. Tinubu is known as a master strategist. He doesn't rush decisions. He watches, listens, allows camps to expose themselves, and then moves when the timing is right. Right now, Tinubu is focused on governance, economic reforms, subsidy removal effects, currency stability, and security. Making an early declaration about a 2027 running mate would be politically unwise. It would lock him into battles he doesn't need yet. So his silence is deliberate. But while he stays quiet, others are not. Across northern political circles, conversations are happening. Who delivers votes? Which region feels marginalized? Who controls party structures? Who has grassroots loyalty? These questions are dangerous when mixed with ethnic narratives because they can easily spiral into division if not managed carefully. This is why some analysts are warning that early ethnic framing of 2027 politics could destabilize the North politically, not necessarily through violence but through deep political fragmentation. And Nigerians should pay attention because once northern politics becomes divided along ethnic and religious lines, it affects the entire country. The North remains a major voting bloc. Any serious internal division there will reshape national alliances. Now, let's talk about what this means for the average Nigerian. Many people listening to this are probably asking, how does this help me? Food prices are high, jobs are scarce, security is still a problem. And that is the real tragedy of early 2027 politics. While citizens are struggling, political elites are already calculating power equations. Instead of focusing on delivering results that will earn them genuine support, some politicians are busy playing identity politics. This is why content like this is important, so people understand the game being played. The truth is simple. No ethnic group can take over Nigeria alone. Power in Nigeria is negotiated, bargained, and shared through alliances. Anyone selling fear without evidence is either misinformed or deliberately trying to provoke tension. That said, the concerns coming from parts of the North should not be dismissed entirely. Political inclusion matters, balance matters, representation matters, and if people feel excluded, resentment grows. The responsibility now lies with political leaders, especially those in power, to calm nerves, communicate clearly, and avoid decisions that could deepen suspicion. As we move closer to 2027, expect more headlines like this. Expect more leaks, rumors, and dramatic claims. Some will be true, many will be exaggerated, and others will be outright propaganda. Your job as a viewer and my job as a presenter is to separate facts from fear. What we know for now is this. Tinubu has not decided publicly on a running mate, Shettima remains vice president, northern political blocs are repositioning, ethnic narratives are being pushed by some interests. Everything else is still unfolding. The big question Nigerians should be asking is not who takes power, but who delivers good governance. Because in 2027, votes will not only be about region, hunger, insecurity, and performance will matter more than ever.